What's that? And hello again, everybody. David Clary here at Alcoa High School, getting set for our third night of Oak Ridge High School basketball. The Wildcats tonight taking on the Webb Spartans in game number 3. We just saw just a moment ago the game take place against the Greenville team against Alcoa, and Alcoa basically got demolished by the Greenville team. Greenville is the only team in this tournament that has won all 3 of their ball games. The Wildcats are trying to get back on the winning side of things. John Oliver has joined us here courtside. John, tell us a little bit more about tonight's ball game.
So Oak Ridge has closed out the 2020 portion of the season tonight as they try to bounce back from a very disappointing game last night against Greenville. The Wildcats were outscored 17-9 in the fourth quarter and lose for the first time since their opening game loss with Kingston. 51-45 was the final score. Oak Ridge missed 17 free throws and struggled to handle the basketball and rebound in the loss. The Wildcats had 15 turnovers in the first half alone and dropped their second game of the season. Webb had a bounce-back win last night as they came back from behind to defeat Alcoa. Last night's opponent, Greenville, defeated this Webb team on Monday. Greenville is the only undefeated team remaining. Webb is coached by Ricky Norris, who coached the Wildcats from 2002 to 2009, compiling a 173-72 record. While at Oak Ridge, Coach Norris took the Wildcats to the state tournament twice and won a state championship at Webb in 2019. Oak Ridge head coach Aaron Green will once again not be on the sidelines for precautionary health reasons. His father, Danny Green, has assumed the head coaching duties in his absence. Coach Aaron Green expects to return next Tuesday for the road game at Central. Tonight's opponent, Webb, has wins over Clay County, Fulton, Motown East, Central, Stone Memorial, Cleveland, and Alcoa. Their losses have come to Greenville and Scott County. Webb tonight will be without 6-foot guard, junior David Sanger, but the good news is that the Oak Ridge junior Lucas Searcy returns to the Wildcats after a 10-day quarantine. This will be the fifth meeting between these two schools, with their first meeting coming in 2007 when Ricky Norris was Oak Ridge's head coach and the Wildcats won 67-38. He also led the Wildcats to a win over Webb in 2008. Coach Norris won the game, the 2009 game, but this time as the head coach of the Spartans. Last season, Webb defeated Oak Ridge 70-49. So Coach Norris is 4-0 in the series, but actually the series is tied at 2-2. Former Oak Ridge coach Barry Wortman is 0-1 against Webb, and Ari Green is 0-1 versus Webb. The Wildcats' next game after tonight will be on Tuesday at Central High School, and they will hopefully be joined by the Lady Wildcats, who haven't played a game since the December 15th loss at Stone Memorial. We will broadcast both games live from Fountain City. Once again, our sponsors for tonight's game are the Oak Ridge Utility District, Fox Insurance Group, Ortho Tennessee, TN Bank of Oak Ridge, and Mortgage Investors Group. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have the tip-off of Oak Ridge and Webb. We'll be back to Alcoa in 3 minutes.
Derogatory remarks or cheers. Good sportsmanship is one of the primary purposes of high school athletics. The TSSAA hopes that you will enjoy this contest and support your athletes and your high school in a positive, sportsmanlike manner.
Time to get a drink?
Yeah. You have 4 minutes. Yeah. David Clary, John Oliver, Christian Rosas Rodriguez back here at Alcoa High School getting set for Oak Ridge and Webb here just a few moments from now. Yesterday, and we're going to have a different trivia question today, but yesterday the trivia question on Tuesday was 22 Wildcats have scored 1,000 or more points in their career. 2 of them played SEC basketball. Who were they and who did they play for? And here is the answer to the trivia question. Rick Daniels Mulholland and Randy Poole. I had several people guess Kenny Campbell, and he did play for Vanderbilt, he was a frequent guest yesterday, but he only scored 897 career points. Rick Daniels Mulholland scored 1,016 in his Oak Ridge career from 2001 to 2005. He played at the University of Tennessee. Randy Poole scored 1,105 from 1963 to 1966. Rick played 1 season for UT, and Randy Poole played for the Kentucky Wildcats. We have another trivia question that I will be announcing at some point during the course of the night. John Oliver is sitting next to me here. John, And last night the Wildcats missed 17 free throws. They struggled. They turned the ball over a lot. They're going to have to play much better tonight against this Webb team.
Yeah, they just have to work on not beating themselves tonight, really. I mean, 17 free throws, it's a lot of missed free throws. And the turnover problem was a big problem as well for the game.
Starting lineups are being introduced out on the floor. And hopefully we are streaming live on YouTube tonight. Hopefully our connection's a little better. We had so many stations up here yesterday, and our Wi-Fi connection didn't appear to be too good. And hopefully tonight we are streaming on YouTube at Prep Radio. We're also on FM 92.7, FM 94.7, prepradio.com, and Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 15. For the first time in this tournament, the Wildcats will be wearing their white jerseys with a cardinal and a little black trim. The Webb Spartans are wearing their grays and green. Danny Green, once again, is doing the honors as the interim head coach of the Wildcats while Aaron Green is recovering from his health issue. And Ricky Norris is the head coach of the Webb Spartans. To jump for the Wildcats, Jonathan Milloway, Jeremy Miller's in the ballgame, Kel Slater, Jonathan Stewart, along with Jeremy Miller. And we are underway, and easily the tip is controlled by Jonathan Milloway. With the basketball will come Jeremy Miller. Top of the circle, here it goes to Kel. Kel looks inside of Jonathan. Free throw line jumper's on its way. Good. I think Jonathan played pretty well last night. Of the players that actually played, I thought he played pretty well.
Yeah, he played really good hard-nosed defense. He gave a lot of great minutes for the Wildcats. His shot wasn't falling too much, but, does a lot of stuff besides on offense.
With the basketball will come Webb. Luke Lentz works the ball right side, driving with it inside the paint. They kick it to the corner. Here it goes to Lucas Walls. Works the ball to the right side, does Walls. His son, or he is the son of a former assistant coach at Oak Ridge, as they launch a three. Good. Three-point shot knocked down, and the Wildcats trail 3-2. Here they come down the floor with the basketball. Kel Slater, top of the circle, looks to his right. He's going to launch a three, top of the key. No good. Long rebound taken away by the Webb Spartans. They'll work the ball left side. They had a three open. They're not going to take it. The Wildcats have got to make sure they cover those three shooters. Wildcats down by a point, 3-2, 6:52 to play here in the first quarter. Webb and Oak Ridge. Here, the two teams have only played 5 times ever, as John said in our pregame show. Their basketball very patiently. Luke Walls works the ball to his right, kicks the ball to the left side. That is Walls. He works the ball inside to number 3. That's Whitney. They launch a three. It's up. Hits the rim. No good. Rebounded by Jonathan Milloway of the Wildcats. Here comes Oak Ridge down the floor. Preston Turner in the ball game for Oak Ridge. Falls down almost, slides, and moves the ball to his right. And then the ball's knocked out of bounds by the Webb Spartans. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball. 3-2 our score, 6:21 to play here in the first quarter. Thanks for tuning us in. And once again, it'll be Oak Ridge basketball. 3-2 our score. With the basketball will come Jeremy Miller. You can hear Coach Norris from here. Kel works the ball left side. Jonathan for three. It's up no good. Rebounded by Milloway. One dribble, one shot. He's fouled. They're going to call a foul on the floor. Last night, that would have been a continuation if it had been Greenville, actually, as it'll be Oak Ridge basketball underneath the goal. 3-2 our score. Wildcats trailing. Oak Ridge ball. Wildcats working into Kel Slater. Attacks the paint. Kicks it over to Preston. Preston drives right. Kicks it out to Kel once again. Good defense. There's a travel. Kel Slater didn't put the ball down on the floor. Took an extra step and turns the ball over. Wildcats have got to get the ball inside to Jonathan Milloway if they're going to have any success tonight.
Yeah, Milloway's a big part of their offense because, he's so big, post player, true post player. And, he can also step out and shoot.
Wildcats have got to do a better job defending the three. They fell behind now 6-2. Wildcats coming down the floor. With it will come Kel Slater. 5:43 to play. We're in the first period. Jeremy Miller with the basketball to Slater. Looking down low to Milloway. Can't get the ball to him. Back it goes to Jeremy. Makes a nice head fake. Pull up and shoot a shot. It is up. No good. No rebounding. Kind of a pull-up. Normally I think Jeremy would probably drive in and take that shot, but on a bad ankle he just couldn't. As they set for another three in the corner, it's good. 3 threes, wide open in the corner, and Coach Danny Green calls a timeout. 9-2 our score. We'll take a quick break. We'll send it back to Brian Bennett. We'll be back to Alcoa High School following this 30-second timeout. David Clary back here along with John Oliver, Christian Rosas Rodriguez. The Wildcats have fallen behind by 7, 9-2. 3 3-pointers in the ball game for the Webb Spartans. On the corner, all not contested. Here come the Wildcats down the floor. With it will come Kel Slater. Works the ball across the line against the zone. Works it over to Preston Turner. Thought about lobbing it down low. He's going to shoot a three. No good. Wildcats not patient enough. Taking shots from the outside when they need to run their offense really and kind of be a little bit more patient and get the ball inside to Milloway. Wildcats watch them dribble in, drive right, dribbling off to the top of the circle. They'll come out with a bounce pass at the free throw line to number 5. He swings the ball to number 0. Nearly lost the dribble, saved on the floor by Owen Feld. He works the ball inside, and Preston reaches in and commits a personal foul. Personal foul will go against the Wildcats. Oak Ridge playing with Preston Turner, Jeremy Miller, along with, Jonathan Milloway. And in the game now will come Lucas Searcy, seeing his first action of this tournament. And it'll be their basketball. And it comes to the right. Here it goes on the right side. Out it goes out to number 1. That'll be Luke Lentz. Holds the ball. Thought about a 3. Dribbles right. Holds it. Now drives in. Past his defender. Swings it over to the corner. They just continue to work the ball inside. This time a driving layup. Good. And the Wildcats are down 11-2. 4:23 to play in the first quarter. Here comes Oak Ridge down the floor. Let's see if they just pull up and take another wild shot. Here's the pass. It's going to go to Jeremy Miller. Drives in, pulls up, gives it into Milloway. Milloway in for the shot. Good. Jeremy Miller gets the assist. Jonathan Milloway gets the bucket, and down the floor will come Webb. They'll drive in all the way to the baseline and almost throw the ball away. They get a shot up. What's the call? That's a block, although I thought Lucas had gotten there, but maybe just a half step too late. And they're gonna count the bucket by Walls. It'll be Webb going to the free throw line. 13-4. The Wildcats trail here. 4 minutes to play here in the first quarter of play. Free throw is short. Rebounded by Milloway. Wildcats down the floor with it. Kel Slater, Lucas Searcy, right corner for 3. No good. Once again, one and done. Down the floor will come the Spartans once again. They'll set for a 3. It's on its way. This one's no good. Milloway on the rebound. Down the floor it goes to Kel Slater. Kel can't penetrate the wall, gives it out to Miller. He's going to throw up a 3. No good. Rebounded to the Wildcats, Jonathan Stewart, and he can't control it. It goes out of bounds. The Wildcats are just not patient here, John. I mean, they're just coming down the floor and putting up 3s.
Yeah, it looks like they're forcing 3s when really they don't need to. They need to slow down the game, kind of play their own style of basketball, get Milloway involved inside the post, because really they don't have anybody tall enough to guard him down low.
13-4 is our score. With the basketball will come Webb once again. 3:32 to play here in the first period. It's been all Webb to this point. Wildcats have got to get some stops on defense. They've got to get some more balanced scoring and set up for some good offenses. They work the ball top of the circle. Here it goes once again to Walls. Lucas Walls comes off to the corner. They drive the baseline. Bounce pass goes in the corner to number 4. That'll be Barrett. They work the ball outside. Now they'll drive in. Here's a shot blocked by Milloway. What's the call? It's a charge. Taken again by Lucas Searcy. He almost had one a moment ago. So that's the first foul called against that young man. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball. The foul is going to be called against Lucas. He is 6'2", 180-pound sophomore. His dad, Travis Walls, used to be a coach at Oak Ridge High School for Ricky Norris when he was the head coach at Oak Ridge. A lot of Oak Ridge connections with this Webb team. Oak Ridge ball, Lucas with it. Lucas Searcy lobs it into Jeremy. Oh, he had a backdoor play. Had the ball stripped out of his hands, saved by Webb. And it'll be Oak Ridge's Jeremy Miller inside Jonathan Stewart for the layup. Good. Down the floor with the basketball will come the Wildcats on defense. Got to set up one of the Spartans. Walls is a little bit shaken up, trying to shake off what appears to be perhaps an ankle issue. They work the ball to the top of the circle, 13-6, and I believe that he's going to have to come out of the ball game. Officials timeout by called to allow Lucas to come out of the game. He was limping up and down the floor, and I don't have a problem with that. I don't really have a problem with that. I mean, this is high school. I mean, just you know. Yeah, and he comes out of the ball game. It'll be their basketball side midcourt. 2:31 to play, first quarter. 13-6, the Wildcats trailing the Webb Spartans. The Wildcats playing with Preston. Actually, Preston's out now. It's Kel Slater, Jonathan Stewart, Lucas Searcy, along with Jeremy Miller and Jonathan Milloway. They work the ball to the right side, and there's a walk. Travel's going to be called against number 10, Caleb Tarwater, 6 foot, 165-pound sophomore, and down the floor with the basketball will come Oak Ridge. 13-6 is our scores, 2:11 to play. The Wildcats with the basketball. Miller with it. Kel Slater looks up high, over goes to Jonathan, to Jeremy. Elbow shot is on its way, good. Pretty shot there by Jeremy Miller, and the Wildcats close the gap to 5. 13-8 the score, a minute 57 to play in the first period. With the basketball will come number 4, Marcus Barrett. In the midcourt circle, swings the ball to his right, over it goes to Devin Mixon. Mixon comes off to his left, gives it off to number 0, Jalen Green in the ballgame, 5'11", 155-pound junior. They've got the ball in the corner, still working the perimeter. They really don't, as you said a moment ago, now they get a wide open 3 again. This is going to be way off the mark. Rebound to Lucas Searcy off of somebody's head. Here comes the Wildcats. Jonathan Stewart down the floor. The Wildcats didn't have numbers. Webb got back quickly on defense. Oak Ridge ball. Trying to get the ball in the Milloway. He's working hard up high. They're working to Jeremy. Jeremy inside of Lucas. One dribble, one shot, and he scores. Lucas Searcy puts it in, and the Wildcats trail by 3. 13-10 the score. Almost a turnover there by Webb as Jonathan Stewart had set up right in front of Marcus Barrett, and he almost walked, and there is a walk. A little bit too much movement of the feet, and the Wildcats will get it on the turnover. A minute 3 to play. We're in the first quarter, 13-10. Webb on top of Oak Ridge. The Wildcats are going to substitute Jeremy Miller out of the ball game. Oak Ridge is going to play with Preston Turner once again. Milloway is going to take a seat. 13-10, Webb. A minute to play here in the first period. Down the floor of the basketball will come the Wildcats. Here it comes once again to Preston, to Jonathan Stewart. Inside Jeremy. Looks inside to Lucas, finds Kel free. Kel penetrates in, has trouble with his dribble, has to back it up. Swings the ball to Preston Turner. Turner throws the ball inside, drives in, shoots, no good. He's called for a travel. He almost turned the ball over, but the ball bounced right back to him, and he was able to corral it and then took that extra step. And here comes Webb down the floor with 41 seconds to play in the first quarter. The Wildcats trailing 13-10. Their basketball. Coach Ricky Norris barking out the plays from the Webb sideline. Danny Green is the acting head coach of the Wildcats. They launch a 3. It's up good. 3-point shot by Lucas Lynch, and they're going to have to cover those guys in the corner a little tighter. 16-10 the score. 20 seconds to play here in the first period as we're broadcasting on FM 92.7, prepradio.com. There's Jonathan Stewart. Here's Kel Slater. Works the ball to Jeremy Miller. Jeremy dribbles, drives, throws the ball out to Kel. Kel with 7, Kel with 5. Inside of Jeremy Miller. One dribble, one shot, 2 points for the Wildcats. And that's the end of the first quarter on this midcourt shot, which hits rim, but is no good. So we have played one quarter basketball here at the Alcoa High School gym. And the Wildcats trail it by a score of 16-12. We're going to take a break. We'll send it back to Brian Bennett. We'll be back to Alcoa High School in 60 seconds. Welcome back once again to Alcoa High School. Second quarter just now underway. The Wildcats down 4, 16-12. Number 1 almost shot another 3, but he did not. They have knocked down some threes here, John Oliver. That's been the bulk of their offense.
Yeah, they kind of play a very pass-heavy offense. They have a lot of ball movement, really patient with their shooting. Who is that on?
Lucas Searcy is called with a personal foul, tried to get a deflection. One thing that, Lucas hadn't played in a while, really since the Concord Christian ball game. And one thing that Lucas has a tendency, unfortunately, is to get into foul trouble because he's aggressive. He plays hard, and can't fault him, but as they set for another three, it's on its way. This one's no good. Rebounded by Kell. Wildcats had a fast break opportunity, but they recover. Kell's going to drive coast to coast, get the shot off. Good. What a great drive. Got bumped and fouled, but they didn't call it. And the Wildcats trail by 2. 16-14 the score. 7 minutes, 23 seconds to play here in the second period. The Wildcats trailing Webb. Webb moving right to left, wearing all gray and green. The Wildcats in their white and cardinal. Lucas Walls back in the ball game for the Webb Spartans. He has a wide open look on the baseline, kicks it out for another three, top of the key. It's no good. Rebound, Stafford Shanklin, and they're going to call a foul underneath against Webb, and it'll be Oak Ridge basketball. I thought for a moment, John, they were going to call over the back on Stafford, but they did not.
Yeah, it was just kind of a hustle foul. It would have been a shame if they called that a foul on Stafford. He was holding his position.
Here come the Wildcats down the floor, 16-14. The Wildcats have trailed since it was 3-2, and they trail 16-14 right now. With the basketball, Oak Ridge, Preston Turner with it. Wildcats got to get a little movement in their offense here. Preston's going to go to the hole. Good, and he's fouled. It's a great drive there by Preston Turner. I thought he was going to dish it off to Jonathan, who was standing on the left block there, but he just accelerated, using that quickness of his, accelerated the hole and floated one over the top, and he has an opportunity to give Oak Ridge the lead. 16-16 our score, 3-point play opportunity for Preston Turner, and he missed it. Free throws, we missed 17 last night in the loss to Greenville. Wildcats can ill afford to do that again here tonight against another really good team. What I've liked about this tournament is all the opponents the Wildcats have played. Here's number 1, wide open for another three. This one's no good. Rebounded by Milloway. Down the floor will come Kell Slater. What I was going to say, all the teams in this tournament are good. Kell, free throw line jumper, no good. Tipped and rebounded by Webb. With the basketball will come the Spartans. Number 1, Jalen Green works the ball inside. Shot is up, good. Count the bucket, then a foul against Jonathan Milloway. And that was a legit foul called against Jonathan Milloway last night. Not so sure about most of those. As they'll go to the free throw line, the Wildcats trail by 2. 18-16 the score. 6 minutes, 16 seconds to play. 14th foul called against the Wildcats. The Wildcats have Jonathan Stewart, Stafford Shanklin, Jonathan Milloway, Kell Slater, Jeremy Miller in the ballgame. Toss is on its way. Good. 3-point play. It's a 3-point lead for the Webb Spartans once again. 19-16 the score. Here comes Kell down the floor. Here he goes to Jeremy Miller in the corner. Has Milloway on the right block this time. Can't get the ball to him. Guarded by Lucas Walls. He works the ball to Jonathan Stewart, top of the circle, around to Kell. Kell gets a screen. Kell gets a drive. Kell takes a shot and knocks it down. Kell Slater hits it from just inside the painted area, not painted, but outside the free throw line, and the Wildcats trail by 1. 19-18 the score, 5:50 to play here in the second period. With the basketball will come the Spartans. Number 3, Brandon Winton with the basketball. Works the ball to his right. Out to the top it goes once again to Green. Green actually has Lentz, works the ball along the baseline, continues to dribble, throws the ball outside. They'll drive in. That's a charge. That should have been a charge. I didn't see the call. It will be, I believe, Oak Ridge's basketball. And I didn't see a definitive call there by the official. It will be a free throw opportunity for Webb. I'm totally surprised at that. That official called one thing, the other one overrode him, and that's a terrible call. And with 5 minutes and 29 seconds to play in the first half, it's 19-18. They got it right the first time, got it wrong on the second time. 20-18 our score, 5:29 to play. First half, toss good. They'll substitute once again. Wildcats down 21-18. We have not gotten any calls in this tournament, John Oliver.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them are kind of 50-50, but that many 50-50s lost is kind of a shame. A lot of foul calls on, Milloway, though, which quite questionable foul calls, and those impact the game a lot because, he's our biggest player on the court at all times almost.
Foul's going to be called against the Spartans here. It's going to be Oak Ridge basketball side court. Jeremy Miller will work it into Jonathan Milloway. To Jeremy Miller, has his dribble in the paint, pulls up, fadeaway jumper is not good. Rebound by Webb. Little fadeaway there. Here they come down the floor, and they'll set it up leading by 3. They're going to drive in, then straw ball is stripped out of his hands. It'll be Oak Ridge's basketball. Really good defense by Jonathan Stewart right there. It will be the Wildcats with the ball. Coach Norris says no way. It was touched. Coach Norris can't believe it. Coach, they're bad on both sides. As the Wildcats will have the basketball. Stafford works it in to Kel Slater. Here come the Wildcats down the floor, down by 3, 21-18 the score. Here comes Jeremy Miller driving in. Jeremy turning, spinning, falls down, lost the ball, just doesn't have his footing yet, and he's still on the ground there. And here comes Webb down the floor. With the basketball will come the Spartans. They have it in the corner to Walls. He lobs the ball on the baseline. Over goes to Mixon. Mixon cannot shoot. 4:44 to play, second quarter. The Wildcats trailing Webb 21-18. Here's a near steal by Jonathan Stewart, tracked down back in the rear court by the Spartans. They'll bring it back across the line with Jalen Green. Green to the midcourt circle, met by Jonathan Stewart. 4:29 to play, second quarter. 21-18 is our score. Webb with the basketball at the free throw line. The ball is deflected, saved on the floor though by number 15 for the Spartans, and they'll once again get it. Wildcats have got to get some turnovers here. They've been active, but they just haven't been able to get anything to go their way. 21-18 the score. So Webb team that's won a state championship just a couple of years ago. As they have the basketball, right side it goes number 5. That'll be Owen Field. He works the ball to the top to number 3 in the corner to Winton. They work the ball inside. Now a wide open 3 in the corner. It's good. 3-point shot for Owen Feld, and the Wildcats once again trail by 6, 24-18. They love those corner threes there. As the Wildcats work the ball, here it goes to Kel Slater. Around to Stafford Shanklin. Stafford works it out to Kel. Kel penetrates right. Stafford will launch a 3. No good. Rebound tracked down by Milloway, but he can't get it. Wildcats cannot connect from the outside. The Wildcats have just been out of sync, with the exception really of the Alcoa game. After the first quarter, the Wildcats have just not really looked sharp to this point. They trail on this one to a good team, 24-18. 3:27 to play here in the second period. With the basketball will come Webb. Wildcats substituting back in the ball game. Well, actually in for the first time as they get a little short jumper up. Good. Wildcats not very active on defense right there. Walls knocks it down. It's an 8-point game. Wildcats with it to Jeremy Miller. Wildcats had Jamison Updegraft in the ball game for the first time. Here it goes to Jonathan. Wildcats have got to knock down some outside shots if they're going to play a zone. Jonathan's got to do it. He missed it. Rebound tipped and taken away by the Spartans. Wildcats cannot buy a bucket from the outside. They drive to the baseline. Good defense. They cut him off. Now they drive in to the free throw line. Kick it to the corner. Three-pointer. No good. Rebounded by Jonathan Milloway. 2:45 to play second quarter. Oak Ridge down 26-18. Wildcat basketball. Another turnover. Kel got inside. We'll try to get it to Milloway as they work the ball down low. The Walls has it out to the top of the circle. Here it goes to Green. Around to the top. They swing it out once again. 26-18. The Wildcats down 8. 2 minutes, 25 seconds to play in the first quarter. The Wildcats playing with Kel Slater, Jeremy Miller, Jonathan Stewart, Jonathan Milloway, Jamison Updegraft. Their basketball. Here it goes, number 15. That'll be Devin Mixon. Mixon to number 0, Jalen Green. Very patient until now. Walls shoots a 3. Off the rim, no good. Rebounded by the Wildcats, Jonathan Milloway. Here comes Jonathan Stewart down the floor. Shakes, bakes, lost the ball again. Wildcats trying to penetrate, and they turn it over. Bounce pass goes down low. So the Wildcats continuing to have trouble, struggling, holding on to the ball. Here's a 3. They're going to drive in, penetrate, and there's a walk. Travel's going to be called with 1:44 to play in the second quarter, and Oak Ridge down 26-18. What I like, when they take the 3, already Webb is retreating back on defense, allowing, usually you get a long carom on a 3-point shot, but they're already retreating back to make sure you don't get a long rebound or an easy layup.
Yeah, they are very well disciplined. You can tell their defense, their zone, it's very tight. I mean, on the offense as well, a lot of movement, a lot of back screens as they almost get the steal there. Oh, wow.
Personal foul is going to be called against Webb. That'll be only the 16th foul called against them. 90 seconds to play here in the first half. The Wildcats trail 26-18. Wildcats getting Stafford Shanklin back in the ball game. Preston Turner's in. Jamison Updegraft and Jonathan Milloway are checking out. 26-18 is our score. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge trailing Webb. Oak Ridge ball. Jonathan Stewart on the baseline will try to work the ball in. Has Stafford in the corner. Stafford thought about shooting. Gives it back to Jonathan. Jonathan inside Jeremy. Jeremy turns, spins, shoots. No good. Stafford battles for the rebound. Puts it back up. No good. Wildcats cannot get anything to fall. 18 points total, and we're almost to halftime. 26-18 the score. A minute 14 to play here in the second period. And the Wildcats will watch them pull it out. They'll go to kind of a four corners. They've got two guys standing up to the midcourt line. They've got two down about halfway down the lane. Now they'll set their offense in motion with a minute to play. They look down low. Walls can't get the ball to him. Backing it up once again. 55 seconds to play. Second quarter. 26-18 the score. With the basketball, Barrett works the ball inside. They thought about driving through. Jalen Green did, but backs it up wisely. 45 seconds to play. They work the ball to Walls around the Green. Green backs up. 41 seconds to play. The Wildcats down 26-18. Their only lead, I believe, in the ball game was 2-0. I think that was their only lead they've had, and they've trailed. One time we had a tie ball game, but since that time it's been all Webb. 26-18 is our score. 25 seconds to play. With the basketball here in the second quarter, the Webb Spartans going for the final shot. Jalen Green had the 5-second count on, but he backs off. Stafford is going to guard him, and there he's going to be called for a personal foul. 13 seconds to play. You could hear the Oak Ridge crowd saying, that's five. And then he started counting, and then he passed it off. It'll be Webb basketball side court. Just as long as Barry Mapp is not officiating this ball game, I'm good with it, though. As Jamison Updegraft comes back in, Stafford will check out. 16 foul called against the Wildcats. 13-5 is the score. 13.5 seconds as they work the ball in. 26-18, the Wildcats trailing. Their basketball. Walls with it. Dribbles. Drives. Kicks it corner. He drives in. But he wanted to take a shorter shot. They're going to drive right. They get a wide open three. It's good. 3-point shot for Lucas Walls. Uncontested threes have been the big problem for the Wildcats in this one. And they trail it by a score of 29-18. John, your thoughts on this first half of basketball?
I mean, we just got to be more disciplined on defense because, they're very patient, usually taking upwards of 45 seconds on every possession. And it's kind of, it's hard to stay focused for a whole defensive possession when they're all cutting hard, setting hard screens. And, they're very dangerous from three.
We're at halftime here. 29-18 is our score. The Wildcats trailing it here. We appreciate you listening to our broadcast on FM 92.7, FM 94.7, prepradio.com, Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 15. We're streaming the video live on YouTube at Prep Radio. Okay, here's our trivia question for today. Oak Ridge has had 6 total players score 2,000 or more points in their careers. 2 guys, 4 Lady Wildcats. The question for tonight, name 4 out of the 6 who have scored 2,000 points in their careers. Like I said, there's 4 Lady Wildcats that have done it and 2 guys. If you can name 4 of the 6, you will be the winner, and the winner will receive a $50 gift certificate to Tinseltown in Oak Ridge. To answer the question, text the answer to area code 865-310-7207. Once again, Oak Ridge has had 6 total players score 2,000 or more points in their careers. 2 guys and 4 Lady Wildcats. The question for tonight, name 4 out of the 6 who have scored 2,000 points in their career. And you can text the number to 865-310-7207. The winner receives a $50 gift certificate to Tinseltown of Oak Ridge. We're at halftime. The Wildcats down 29-18. We'll take a break. We'll send it back to Brian Bennett at the station. When we come back, John Oliver will run down the first half statistics. 29-18 the score. Back in 3 minutes. You don't have to do that. You can do it whatever you want to do. I'm making sure your light's off. Yeah, okay, just making sure. Well, I mean, if we're going to continue to give them the shots, I mean. Yeah, because we're one and done. We're just one and done. That's why. How many viewers do we have, Christian? What's that? Yeah, he's talking about shots. Our actual shooting. Yeah, you're good. Not you. That's what Coach Webb does at Blackman. He's a. That's how they beat. Yeah. Would that be Damon or Damien? Damon? Yeah, he got them all, yeah. 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 Welcome back once again to Alcoa High School. The Wildcats find themselves trailing 29-18. Somebody had a program, I think, because we have a winner on our trivia question, and I'll give you what the question was once again. Oak Ridge has had 6 total players score 2,000 or more points in their careers, 2 guys and 4 Lady Wildcats. The question was, name 4 of the 6 who have scored 2,000 points in their career. Well, I'll tell you first, the 2 guys that did it were Halston Lane, Oak Ridge's all-time leading scorer. He scored 2,119 points. Quinche Dowdell scored 2,024 points. Those are the 2 guys that have scored 2,000 points. The Lady Wildcats that have scored 2,000 or more points, Kiki Stewart, 2,391 points. Jada Gwynn, 2,347 points. Jennifer Wilson, now Jennifer Wilson Galloway, 2,120 points. And Brittany Frazier, 2,064. Congratulations, Damon Jones. You are the winner of a $50 gift certificate to Tinseltown. John Oliver, you've got the scoring to this point. The Wildcats down 29-18.
29-18 at half. We're down. Kel Slater so far, the Wildcats' leading scorers, 3 players with 4 points. Kel Slater, Jonathan Stewart, and Jeremy Miller all with 4. And Preston Turner, Lucas Searcy, and Jonathan Milway all have 1 made bucket, 2 points. Wildcats still have not hit a 3. They are 0 for 6 at the moment, that's a point of emphasis. Still haven't hit a free throw, 0 for 2, but I hope that picks up. Webb, most of their points coming off only 2 scorers, really. 24 combined points between Luke Lentz with 11 and Lucas Walls with 13. Owen Feld has added 3 for them, and Jalen Green has added 2. Luke Lentz is 3 for 7 from 3, and Lucas Walls is 3 for 4 from 3. That's 11 combined, and most of them were open. So point of emphasis for the Wildcats has to be covering the three-point shot. Lucas Wall is mostly straight away, and Luke Lentz has had a field day in the corner so far. Yeah.
Both teams are back out of the dressing room. The Wildcats find themselves down 29-18. We're on FM 92.7, FM 94.7, prepradio.com, and Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 15. We're also streaming live on YouTube at Prep Radio. We are pleased to announce that beginning on January 8th, the Oak Ridge home basketball games will also be streamed live from the Wildcat Arena on YouTube, on our Prep Radio channel, and on Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 15. With the restrictions on fans entering the building, the school administration has lifted the policy of no home game streaming. There will be limited fans allowed into the Oak Ridge High School. This is a restriction placed on Oak Ridge by the TSSAA and will be enforced. These restrictions are intended to keep our student athletes safe during this season and to allow them to continue to play the sport they love. All fans will have the opportunity to follow Wildcats at home during these uncertain times on YouTube and Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 15. One more break and we'll have the second half. The Wildcats trailing 29-18. We'll be back for the second half in 60 seconds. Don't look like a very good basketball team right now. Right. I agree. Right. Welcome back once again to Alcoa High School. Second half about to get underway. We had the winner of the trivia question. I'll once again tell you who the 6 players that have scored 2,000 points were: Halston Lane, Quinche Dowdell, Kiki Stewart, Jada Gwynn, Jennifer Wilson, and Brittany Frazier. Damon Jones was the winner. Now let's see if the Wildcats can be a winner. And to do that, they're going to have to play better basketball, John.
Yeah, we kind of got to get rid of the turnover bug here. Got to start hitting some outside shots. And, you know, if we keep getting these open looks, they'll start falling. So definitely moving the ball pretty well, though. So just got to have faith in the outside shot. Got to keep confidence. Start moving the ball better. You know, oh, that's a bad way to start.
Another turnover right there, and they're going to get a layup out of it. Shot is no good. Rebounded by Jonathan Stewart. Saved to Jeremy Miller, then lost right out of his hands. Then stolen right back by Jeremy, and here come the Wildcats. Then he has his pocket picked, and then Jonathan steals the ball away from him. Boy, what a flurry. And the Wildcats have got to be more aware of the defense. These teams are out hustling us coming down the floor. They are going after every ball, trying to sweep it away from Oak Ridge. We have got to be more aware of the defense as the Wildcats work the ball in. Try to anyway. And it comes to Jeremy Miller. If he can track it down at the midcourt circle, he does. The Wildcats are down 29-18. 7:28 to play. We were talking during the break here, and this is nothing obviously against Jeremy Miller, but he just can't drive the basketball right now with his ankle the way it is. He had a good game the other night against Alcoa, but a lot of those were just easily uncontested shots. He hasn't been able to drive the last 2 ball games. Oak Ridge three-pointer, good. Jonathan Stewart, that's what we need. Couldn't knock down any shots in the first half, and Jonathan knocks down that one. Down the floor with the basketball will come Webb. The Wildcats are down by 8. Here's a steal by Jonathan. Jonathan gets a layup, and he scores. So the Wildcats score 5 straight points, and the Wildcats, just like that, are back within 6. Jonathan Stewart his defense and his shooting, getting the Wildcats hopefully back into the ball game. With the basketball will come Webb. They've got the ball top of the circle, working the ball outside. That's Lucas Walls. Walls thought about driving in. They'll drive the baseline. They'll go on for the shot, kick it into the corner. Now they're thought about shooting a three from outside. They'll back it up. Here it goes out to Lucas Lentz, out to the top, nearly a steal by Oak Ridge. The Wildcats watch them dribble in, unable to penetrate. They back it up. Pretty good defense that time by the Wildcats, and they'll set up their offense once again. 29-23, the Wildcats down by 6. 6:15 to play in third quarter action here from Alcoa High School. Wildcats' next ball game will be next Tuesday, a district ball game on the road at Central High School. With the basketball, they kick it out of bounds. Another turnover, and Coach Norris isn't happy. In the old days, he used to pull off his coat and throw it down and kind of ruffle his hair, but he just sits back, way back in his chair as the Wildcats bring the ball across the line. Kel Slater with the basketball to Jeremy Miller, to Preston Turner. Jonathan Stewart has his three blocked. It goes almost going to go out of bounds. I think Jeremy thought it was going to go out of bounds as they throw the ball away. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball, I think. And didn't see any great signal there, but it will be actually Webb's ball. 5:44 to play. 6-point game. 29-23 to score. Their basketball. Bounce pass comes in to number 0, Jalen Green, out to the top. Nearly a carry there by number 1. That'll be Luke Lentz. They work the ball down low to Walls. Walls guarded by Miller. Out to the top, three-pointer. No good, but they get the rebound, and then underneath, he pushed off to get rebounding position, Brandon Winton, and turns the ball over. Wildcats will see them call a timeout. 5:30 to play third quarter. 29-23 our score. We'll take a break. We'll send it back to Brian Bennett. We'll be back to Alcoa High School following this 30-second timeout.
Say like the first part of this chorus. Oh, it's the first half.
Welcome back once again to Alcoa High School. David Clary, John Oliver, Christian Rosas Rodriguez, the Wildcats down 6, 29-23, playing with Jeremy Miller in the ball game. Kel Slater, Jonathan Stewart, Jonathan Milloway. Wildcat basketball. Here goes to Miller. He's going to bring the ball across the midcourt line, accelerate all the way to the hole, and score. First time all night, and first time in 2 games that Jeremy has just taken it down the floor, and the Wildcats are down by 4. 29-25 the score. Great drive by Jeremy Miller, and I think that's what we're going to have to get. Here's a steal by Milloway. We could have a dunk. He goes in. He dunks it. A 2-hand slam. And the Wildcats, just like that, have cut an 11-point lead to 2 at 29-27, and maybe that'll wake up the Oak Ridge Wildcats here.
Yeah, those are some big energy plays there by Milloway and Jeremy. Tough layup at one end, the steal and a dunk by Jonathan Milloway, who maybe didn't sky, but he got up for it at least.
Wildcats are a lot more active now. The ball's knocked out there by the Spartans. 29-27. Oak Ridge down 2. 4:52 to play. Third quarter. 5-second count is on. They get the ball in. Then it comes to Lucas Walls. Walls with the basketball. Gives it over to Winton. Bounce pass in the circle. Outside it goes. Number 3 dribbles in. Cut off there by Milloway. Going to try to drive against him. A deflection and a near steal. And he steps out of bounds. The Wildcats do have it. So the Wildcats have scored 9 consecutive points. They can tie it with a 2 and take the lead with a 3. Here come the Wildcats down the floor. Moving right to left with it will come Kel Slater. 4:35 to play third quarter. 29-27. Webb on top of the Wildcats. Oak Ridge has only led once, 2-0. Wildcats. Milloway to Miller. Ball knocked out of bounds by Webb. Last touch by Lucas Walls. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball underneath the goal. 4:25 to play third quarter. 29-27 is the score. Milloway shoots, scores, and we are tied. An 11-0 run to start the third quarter, and it's 29-29. With the basketball will come the Spartans. Out to the top it goes to Winton. Winton dribbles in, thought about penetrating, fires it to a wide open player. That's Walls. Somebody lost him on defense, and the Wildcats trail again by 2. 31-29 the score, 4 minutes to play in the third period. With the basketball will come the Wildcats. Kel Slater running the point for the Wildcats to Jeremy Miller. Miller holds it, goes to Preston. Preston free throw line jumper, too strong, no good. Rebound to the Spartans. Coming out of there with the basketball, Jalen Green works the ball to the right corner. They drive in, nearly a steal by Jeremy, cut him off there on the baseline. Backs it up once again, uses his right hand to push off. He's continuing to do that, knocks him down. Where's the call? Here's a three-point shot, good. Used his left hand, pushed Jeremy Miller down, no call. Blount County officials, once again, ladies and gentlemen. Here come the Wildcats. Jeremy Miller drives in. This time they're going to call a foul. 3 minutes, 24 seconds to play, 34-29 the score. What can you do there, John? I mean, did he not shove him down to the floor?
Yeah, I was doing it the whole time. It was like a full 10 seconds of it. I mean, he brought it in, tried to get a little push off, and brought it back out and still kept pushing off. And no call as he falls. But, you know, what can you do, Blount County?
Wildcats are down by 5 again, 34-29 the score. Oak Ridge basketball, 3:13 to play. In the third period, the Wildcats and Webb Spartans here on FM 92.7. Preston Turner, Kel Slater looks to Jeremy, bounce pass inside Milloway for the jam again. A two-hand dunk by Milloway, his second, and then a technical foul, I think, called against Oak Ridge. I'm not sure exactly what, if he said something, if he did something, did he hang on the rim? Either way, it's a technical against Oak Ridge, I believe, and they'll be shooting free throws. I think it is. It'll be Lucas Walls at the free throw line. 34-31 the score. Free throw, good. 2:57 to play third quarter, 34-31. Little things like that the Wildcats cannot do against good teams. Lucas hits both free throws. It'll be Webb basketball side midcourt. Lucas Searcy, Stafford Shanklin coming into the ball game. Milloway checks out. Preston Turner checks out, so the Wildcats playing with Miller, Searcy, Stafford, Shanklin, Jonathan Stewart, along with Kel Slater. 5-point lead for the Spartans. 2:54 to play, third period. 36-31 Webb. Their basketball. Top of the circle it goes. Winton around the right side, dribbles, gives it out to Walls. Walls cut off by Stafford. Throws the ball out to the top. They'll drive in. Good defense by Lucas. They get a three off in the corner. That's short. Rebounded by Lucas Searcy. Here come the Wildcats running. Kel Slater down the floor. Kel Slater back to Jonathan. Jonathan to Lucas. Lucas thought about shooting a three. He's going to drive in for a layup. Of course, it's a charge. That time, they set up there, and probably a good call right there. 36-31, but any 50-50 is not going to go our way. People say all the time that I'm rough on the officials, but I can tell you I have never liked this association over here for whatever reason, especially Barry Mapp. 36-31 the score, 2:23 to go. He's probably a great guy, John Oliver, probably a great person, but he's a terrible ref, and he has been for 40 years. Shot is missed, rebounded by the Wildcats, Jonathan Milloway. 36-31 the score. Oak Ridge basketball, Preston Turner holds the ball, top of the circle, give her off to Jonathan, thought about a three, head fakes, goes in for a three-footer, no good, does draw the foul, and Jonathan Stewart will go to the free throw line. 2 minutes to play third quarter, Webb on top, 36-31. The Wildcats opened up this half with a 11-0 run. They trail again by 5, but Jonathan Stewart will go to the free throw line here. How many does Jonathan have in the ball game, John, as he goes to the line? 2 times. The first of which is up. Good.
He has 10 after that free throw. He's looking for his 11th here.
Scored his 400th point tonight in this ball game. Jeremy Miller scored his 850th point in this ball game. And Jonathan Milloway, 700 points in his career. So milestone night here as Jonathan goes back to the line. This one's way off the mark. No good. Rebounded by Walls. Down the floor in a 4-point game come the Webb Spartans. 1:55 to play third period. Webb basketball. They're going to drive the baseline. Wildcats, good defense there. A near steal by Jonathan Stewart. It is going to be Oak Ridge's basketball. I think number 3, Brandon Winton, thought that Oak Ridge knocked it out, so he kind of pulled back, thinking that it was going to be their ball, but it was last touched by the Spartans, and Oak Ridge will have it coming down the floor. No pressure in the rear court, and that's smart. They really haven't put a whole lot of pressure. They're going to set up their half-court offense here as the Wildcats work it in. 36-32. Webb in the lead here. Down the floor of the basketball will come Kel Slater at the point. 99 seconds to play third quarter. Jonathan Stewart holds it, looks to Jeremy Miller, dribbles in, kicks the ball corner, three-pointer. Kel Slater, no good. Wildcats not able to really knock down those threes. I know Jonathan Stewart has one, but I think that's it. Now they're allowed to drive the full length of the floor, and a foul is going to be called. It's going to be a two-shot opportunity for Webb. John thought it was a walk. He took the 1.5 steps. I think it's probably wasn't a walk, but it'll be Jonathan Milloway picks up his third foul. Of course, he fouled out the other night. Fourth foul? It'll be their basketball at the free throw line shooting. 36-32 Webb, a minute 21 to play in the third period. Toss, brick. Hits the back end of the rim, no good. Back to the line once again will go Jalen Green. He's 5'11", 155-pound junior. Webb Spartan, 36-32. It's a good Webb team. Oak Ridge connections in there as that free throw is good. 37-32. The Wildcats are down by 5. Here's Oak Ridge down the floor. Here goes Miller. Back to Kel Slater. Minute 16 to play. 37-32 Webb in the lead. Oak Ridge basketball. Jeremy Miller to Jonathan Stewart. Back to the goal. Goes to the goal. Takes it off the rim. No good. And out of bounds. Last touch by Webb. Last touch by Lucas Walls. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball underneath the goal. Might have caught a break right there. It'll be Oak Ridge ball. That's Ricky Norris yelling, and the Wildcats tried to get it inside to Jeremy Miller. They're going to get a run out. Good. And Jeremy wasn't waiting for the ball. The Wildcats are down 7. Wildcats too many turnovers. Got to get the ball to Milloway. Here it goes to him on the block. Double team, turning, spinning, and stripped of the ball. Looked like contact, but no call. Blount County down the floor. They'll come. There's going to be a charge. Jeremy Miller set it up. 42.8 seconds to play. 39-32, third quarter. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball. Let's see. The Wildcats are going to get Lucas Searcy back in the ball game. 39-32. 42.8 seconds to play in the third period. The Wildcats had tied it or come close to tying it, but right now the Wildcats are down 7. They were down 11 at halftime. They led 2-0, then it was 3-2, and then they went on a big long run to take a lead, and they've led most of the ball game here. Here comes Kel Slater down the floor. The Wildcats playing with Lucas Searcy, Jonathan Milloway, Jonathan Stewart, Jeremy Miller, Kel Slater. Wildcat basketball. Stewart with it over to Jeremy around to Lucas. Against the zone, works it out once again to Miller. Back to Lucas. He's got a ball deflected into Milloway. Milloway, oh, he should have given it to him. He's going to drive in. He walks. They're going to call a foul. Man, that's just bad officiating. That was a walk. They call a foul on Webb. It'll be Mixon called for the personal foul. Coach Jones, Coach Norris, Coach Goldmeyer, Coach Michael, all Oak Ridgers, as Oak Ridge's got to work the ball in. Then it comes to Milloway. To Jeremy Miller, 20 seconds to play third quarter. Wildcats down 7. Jeremy, top of the circle, has Jonathan free. Jonathan Milloway back to the goal, and that's a definite call right there. You cannot do that. Jonathan Milloway used his body to clear out, and that's his fourth foul, and that's a good call. I mean, you just cannot do that. He didn't need to do that. All he really needed to do was turn around and shoot over the much shorter player defending him. So that's Jonathan's fourth foul. He's going to have to sit. 39-32, bad possession all around for the Wildcats. Down the floor of the basketball will come the Spartans. 39-32 the score. They'll get the ball first in the fourth quarter. They're going to drive out to the top. 3 seconds. You got to stay on him. Here's a three. No good. Rebound by Jeremy Miller as the third quarter comes to a close. Our score after 3 quarters of basketball here at Alcoa High School. We appreciate Alcoa hosting this tournament. It's been a good 3 days of basketball here. The Wildcats trail it 39-32. We'll be back with the fourth quarter in 60 seconds. Really?
Never gets a lot of shots, though. I don't know why. He only shoots like 10 shots a game. He should be shooting a lot. He makes like, he can shoot. Shot 10 for 12 his first game. Shot like 13 of 17 his second game.
Okay. David Clary back here along with John Oliver, Christian Rosas Rodriguez, Brian Bennett back at the studios. We won't talk to you until 2021 after tonight. We wish you a very happy new year. Hope everybody had a good holiday time. Wildcats got some work to do here in the final 8 minutes of this game. They trail 39-32. 7:52 to play in the ball game. The Wildcats come out with Jeremy Miller, Jonathan Stewart, Stafford Shanklin, along with Kel Slater and Preston Turner. Wildcats with Milloway on the bench with 4 fouls. Their basketball. Here goes top of the circle, playing a little keep away. They have a lot of motion. They'll try and get an easy layup if they can, or a wide open three. They do lob it inside. Lucas Walls with it in the paint strip, taken away by Preston. Preston Turner going coast to coast with it, and he's going to be fouled. They could have very easily called perhaps a held ball right there, but I'm glad they called the foul. It'll be the 7th team foul called against him. It's going to go against Lentz, Luke Lentz, 5'10", 150, junior player, as Preston goes to the free throw line. Toss on its way up there. Good. Preston Turner will have another one here. The Wildcats down 6, 39-33, 7:26 to play in the ballgame. Toss, no good. Rebound, oh, they're going to say Wildcats came over the back. Just battling for a ball. I just don't like that. I think they're going to say, well, that could have been the case. I thought maybe they were going to call on Jeremy, but evidently they say Jonathan Stewart was holding. 39-33 the score, 7:21 to play in the ballgame. The Wildcats need some stops on defense. Oak Ridge working hard on defense. Preston Turner guarding number 0. That's Jalen Green. He works the ball out to the top. They'll dribble to the free throw line. The left elbow, a near steal by Jonathan. Wildcats not even attempting to trap out there. I guess they're going to have to try that. They're so quick. They're so good with their ball handling. With the basketball, Luke Lentz backs it up once again to number 3. That's Brandon Winton. Dribbles in. Penetrates too deep. Now no place to go. Swings the ball right side. Off it goes to Mixon. Mixon backs out up in the corner. Just working time off the clock. Dribbles the ball to the midcourt circle. I might have carried it right there. Works the ball to the top once again, and now Coach Norris calls a timeout. 6:40 to play in the ball game. The Wildcats down 39-33. We'll send it to Brian Bennett. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Welcome back once again to Alcoa High School. The Wildcats down 6, 39-33. We'd like to thank Fox Insurance Group of Oak Ridge, 10 Bank of Oak Ridge, Ortho Tennessee of Oak Ridge, the Oak Ridge Utility District, and Mortgage Investors Group for sponsoring our broadcast here. There'll be Webb basketball side court. They'll try to work the ball in, and they do. For a three-pointer is no good. Wildcats, Stafford Shanklin pulls down the board. The Wildcats down 6 with the ball, 6.5 minutes to play in the game. Wildcats need offense. Kel Slater's going to take it to the hole, miss it. Rebound by Oak Ridge. Kel Slater, 4 people guarding him, puts up a shot, no good. Rebounded by the Webb Spartans. Wildcats down 6. Wildcats had a couple short ones. Here's Lucas Walls for 3. Good. 3-point shot. Lucas Walls, top of the circle. The Wildcats are in a heap of trouble right now, and he's got a total of 20 points in the game. The Wildcats trailing by 9. They haven't put it up on the scoreboard, but I believe it is 42. Ball. Jonathan Stewart to Kel Slater. 5:55 to play. Preston Turner with the basketball. Now they put it up there. 42-33 the score. Oak Ridge basketball. Preston Turner gets the screen from Stafford. Back to Jonathan it goes. The Wildcats. Jonathan Stewart penetrates. Drives all the way to the hole. Good. Jonathan Stewart's been able to drive, and the Wildcats score 2. They got to get back on defense. Here comes Lucas Walls. Block is called against Jeremy Miller, and Lucas will go to the free throw line. Lucas Walls is a good player. His dad, Travis Walls, coached with us. He was an assistant coach for Ricky Norris when he was coaching, and now his son is playing for Coach Norris. My, how people grow. I remember when they were just babies, basically, as Lucas goes to the free throw line. 42-35 the score. The Wildcats down 7. Free throw is good. Lucas, a good player. 6'2", 180 pounds. He's only a sophomore. So got a good player coming through the ranks there as Marcus Barrett comes in the ball game. Checking out will come Luke Lentz. The Wildcats down 43-35. Second toss, good. Oak Ridge basketball, still time to go, but down 9. 44-35 the score. The Wildcats had a little flurry when they scored 11 straight to start the quarter, but it's been all Webb again since that time. And, of course, Jonathan Milloway's on the bench, was on the bench for a good portion, as Jonathan throws the ball away. Tried to throw it across, I believe, to Preston Turner, and it goes into the hands of Coach Danny Green, who's coaching for Aaron here tonight. 44-35 the score, 5 minutes, 15 seconds to play. We're in the final period of this game from Alcoa. The Wildcats about to drop their second consecutive ball game unless they can rally here in the final 5 minutes of the game. 44-35 the score, their basketball. With it will come Jalen Green. All the credit in the world goes to the Webb High Spartans, and they'll try to take the lead in the series 3-2. That could have been an offensive foul. They've got the ball top of the circle. They're very patient with their offense. They work the ball around. 4:44 to play. John wants a shot clock in high school ball. Give us your argument here.
I think there should be a shot clock. One, it would help them get ready for college basketball and maybe even the pros. 2, it's kind of frustrating as a fan watching a team play such good defense for upwards of a minute, and then just one lapse of focus and all that defense goes to waste, like right there.
Well, that's what they do. They lull you to sleep, and they finally get a layup there, and the Wildcats are down 11. 46-35, another low output point total for the Wildcats here. Here goes to Milloway. Milloway looks to his right, finds Preston free. Preston and Jeremy Miller cannot shoot. They extend the defense out once again. Jonathan's free in the corner. Jonathan back to Preston. They got to work it around quicker because they're set up so quickly on defense. Wildcats have got to get shots off. They're down 11 points. Kel Slater with it. Cannot penetrate. Preston thought about shooting. Finds Miller inside of Milloway. They're going to get a layup. Good ball movement that time by the Wildcats. Jonathan Milloway scores, and the Wildcats trail 46-37. 3 minutes, 38 seconds to play in the basketball game. Down the floor will come the Webb Spartans. Lucas Searcy about to re-enter the ball game for the Wildcats. Out to the top it goes, to the corner. Working their offense. 46-37 is our score. With the basketball, once again, it goes to Winton. Winton to Lucas Walls. Backs it up. Once again, it goes to Barrett. They're working the dribble. Dribbling outside. It goes to Feld. They drive to the baseline. Good defense by Milloway, cutting off Green that time from going along the baseline. 46-37 the score. Webb in the lead. Trying to beat Oak Ridge for the third consecutive time as they work the ball along the baseline, and the Wildcats hold and commit the foul. Preston Turner is going to be the man called for the personal foul. 46-37 the score. The Wildcats trailing. Wildcats just aren't playing good basketball right now, and I know this is the time when if you're going to play bad basketball, it's now in December and not getting ready for the tournament. So hopefully Jeremy will get a little bit healthier. Jonathan Milloway will get a little healthier. Lucas Searcy will get a little healthier. And Coach Green hopefully will get a little healthier here. 46-37 the score. Now 47-37 as number 0, Jalen Green, knocks down the first toss. His second toss is up, and it's good. Wildcats down 11 once again, 48-37. Here comes Oak Ridge down the floor. Searcy to Kel Slater, penetrates, throws the ball away. Off the foot of one of the Spartans, and it was intended for Jonathan Stewart. And down the floor will come Webb once again. 2:43 to play, so the Wildcats are going to fall to 8-3 on the year as they drive in, and the ball is knocked out of bounds by Lucas Searcy. Wildcats, a low point total, 37 points, which is normally a high-scoring offense, the Wildcats offense, but these last last two ball games have been very, very low scoring. You got to credit Greenville's defense. You got to credit Webb's defense. As the Wildcats get a steal, though, here goes to Kel Slater. The Wildcats need to get some points here quickly. 2.5 minutes to play. Kel kicks it out. Lucas Searcy for three. No good. Rebound to the Spartans. Down the floor of the basketball once again. They're going to drive out to the top of the circle. Here it goes to Jalen Green. Backs it up, 2:15 and counting, 48-37 the score. Their basketball. Here it goes to Lucas Walls. They get a shot up, no good. Bodies all over the floor. One of the Wildcats, Lucas Searcy, is down. Jonathan Stewart's going to get a layup, good. Wildcats run the floor well. 2 minutes to play in the ball game. The Wildcats put on the press, and down the floor with the basketball will come the Spartans. 48-39 the score. I think Coach Green wanted a timeout on the made bucket, but it wasn't given it the timeout as they work their dribble once again. Minute 43 to play. 48-39 the Wildcats trailing. With the basketball will come Green once again, drives the baseline, and then he is fouled, I think, by Lucas Searcy. And let's see, I believe that is the case. 48-39, a minute 36 to play. They know they're not the big team, so they have one guy at the free throw line and they send everybody back. It's just smart basketball. As the Spartans go to the free throw line with Jalen Green, 5'11 player. 48-39, the Wildcats trail. 96 seconds to play in the ball game here at Alcoa. Free throw is up, no good. Wildcats got to score quickly. 48-39 the score. Kel Slater, Preston Turner. Preston's going to dribble in, going to drive, and he's going to be held and tied up. The one official calls jump ball. The other was going to call foul, I think, but I think it's the proper call. 48-39 the score. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball as they substitute back in the ball game. Looks like Devin Mixon checking in. Checking out for them will come Jalen Green. Jonathan Stewart to work the ball in. Soon. Needs to anyway. In it comes to Kel Slater. Kel attacks inside, and he's fouled on the floor. That is the 8th team foul called against Webb, so Oak Ridge will go to the line. 48-39 the score. The Wildcats will send Preston Turner to the free throw line. John, what has Preston done here tonight?
He's played some good defense, hard-nosed. He's been really aggressive, getting offense started, which has helped a lot because, against Greenville, kind of lacked that aggressiveness that you usually see with the Wildcats. And, it's kind of, even though the shots might not be falling, it helps impact the offense.
Timeout is asked for by Coach Danny Green. In a moment, we'll come back with the second free throw. I want to remind everybody that our next broadcast of Oak Ridge High School basketball will be coming up on Tuesday. The Wildcats will be traveling to Central High School in a district ball game. The Wildcats are in first place in the district with a 3-0 record with victories over Halls, Carnes, and Clinton. Central is a very formidable team. The Wildcats will have to play better in those ball games, but they'll have some practice time in between. And I'm not making excuses for the Oak Ridge team, but Oak Ridge has not had a regular practice since before the Concord Christian game. They've had a couple of walkthrough practices, but they haven't had really good practices. They've had a couple people who actually tested positive on the team that had to sit out in quarantine and probably are not playing at full strength. Their head coach is not able to play right now because he is down with illness as well. As Kel Slater goes back to the free throw line, the Wildcats down 8, a minute 24 to play. 48-40 is the score. Looks at the second toss. He hit the first one, then he knocks down the second one. Wildcats down 7. 48-41. The Wildcats will put on the press here once again. One of the few times they've done it really in the ball game, and they're going to break it. Down the floor with the basketball will come Winton. He works it in for a shot. Good. Lucas Walls scores, and Coach Norris calls a timeout. 50-41. Maybe that's why we haven't pressed them, because they just walked it down the floor and got an easy layup, almost a dunk, by Lucas Walls, who's a good-looking player, John. He's a good-looking player.
Yeah, he's got 24 points tonight, and, he's only missed 2 shots and a free throw. He's been really good. Doing a lot of the tough little things on defense and getting through on transition and finding just a little open lanes on offense. So, very, very dangerous when given a little bit of space.
Damon Jones was the winner of our trivia question tonight. The trivia question was, Oak Ridge has had 6 total players score 2,000 or more points in their careers. This is the guys and the girls, and he got 4 of the 6, and that was the question. The 2,000-point scorers: Halston Lane, Quinche Dowdell, Kiki Stewart, Jada Gwynn, Jennifer Wilson, Brittany Frazier. You know who Kiki Stewart's brother is?
Is it Jonathan Stewart?
No, it would be Mr. T. Higgins.
I didn't know that, actually. That was kind of.
As the Wildcats have the basketball down 50-41, a minute 15 to play. Kell will pick it up at midcourt, dribbles out to the top of the circle. Round it goes to Preston Turner. Turner to Kell. Kell penetrates right. Preston to Jeremy Miller. Head fakes. Baseline jumpers off the mark. No good. Tipped and rebounded by Milloway to Preston to Kell. A minute to play in the ballgame. The Wildcats need points. Got to shoot sometime. Jeremy's going to shoot a 3. It's up. It's the rim, no good. Rebounded by the Webb High Spartans. And down the floor, they'll come with 50 seconds to play, and the Wildcats will not foul. 50-41 the score. Wildcats down 50-41, 44 seconds to play. With the basketball will come Jalen Green, just running it out here to Lucas Walls. The Wildcats stay back on their defense. They are not going to prolong the ball game here. 50-41 is our score. The Webb Spartans are going to come up here. The Wildcats are going to play hard. Now Coach Norris is going to call a timeout with 28 seconds to play. So Coach Norris, and this is an interesting statistic here, as a timeout is asked for, and we're going to keep it right here, Brian. Coach Norris has been involved in all 5 of the games that have been played between Oak Ridge and Webb. All 5. He's been involved with them. He is 5-0 in the ball games played between Oak Ridge and the Webb Webb Spartans. I'm sorry, I don't know why I keep saying that. I keep wanting to say West for whatever reason. He's 5-0. He's 2-0 as the head coach of the Wildcats when he was the head coach at Oak Ridge against Webb, and now he is 3-0 as the Webb coach against Oak Ridge. So in this series, Coach Norris is 5-0. Pretty cool. I mean, if you like a little trivia like that. I could have used that as a trivia question at some point later on, as the Wildcats are down by 9 with 28 seconds to play. Wildcats, that's the shortest 5-second call ever. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball. Was it not, John? I mean, I'm glad it happened as the Wildcats have the ball.
He wasn't saying his Mississippi's.
Here comes Jeremy setting it up. The Wildcats with 23 seconds to play. Kell can't get a shot off. Now he's going to drive in all the way to the hole, missed the layup. And out of bounds to Webb with 15 seconds to play. 50-41 the score. The Wildcats will go back to the drawing board. They'll go back to the practice floor, and they'll be ready, I'm sure, for the Central Bobcats. Aaron Green probably will be back with them. I believe he is done tomorrow, so he would have been able to come back as the ball game is over. The final score of the ball game, the Wildcats defeated by a score of 50-41. The reason I did that, John, they take that off so quickly. As soon as the game's over, they take it off the scoreboard. John, let me hear your comments. I mean, the Wildcats had some good moments, especially the start of the third quarter. They were down by 11 and then rattled off 11 straight to tie the ball game. But then, Webb they played hard. They did the things that they do well. I think we did a better job guarding the 3, but the Wildcats still struggle for offense, and when your best player, one of your best players is on the bench with a lot of foul trouble, and then when your other player, and I'm not making excuses, is not really able to do the things that Jeremy Miller does well because of that bad ankle that he sprained in the Clinton ball game, you're kind of limited a little bit. It isn't the same team that we saw prior to the Clinton ball game because of those things. And because they haven't had any practices, and this is excuse making, nothing against Greenville and Webb. They were great basketball teams, deserving to win the ball games. But we're limited right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, with the foul trouble, and there was a little part where we got a good burst of energy, but we could never really get the momentum and keep it. I mean, besides the start of the third quarter, we had some momentum going there, but they instantly just took it back. And mainly it's like in football, if your defense is on the floor for so long, playing defense that long, it's kind of hard to get your flow on offense going. And they're very patient on offense, Webb was. very disciplined on defense. They had a very good zone. And it was just every Wildcat bucket was very tough. And, Webb was so patient that they were just wearing us down on defense. It's hard to get momentum playing like that.
So the final score of the ball game was 50-41. The Webb Spartans win. We're going to take a break, send it back to Brian Bennett. When we come back, John will run down the final scoring. I'll hopefully get a chance to speak to Coach Danny Green as well. Wildcats defeated. Back-to-back ball games here at Alcoa. We'll be back to Alcoa High School in 3 minutes. See you, Travis.
It was 5 for 5. You could have stayed on the floor. I'm not normally supposed to do stats, just kind of like run down when points.
You gotta be a little bit flowery. David Clary back here along with John Oliver and Christian Rosas Rodriguez. The Wildcats fall to Webb 50-41. John, you've got the final scoring.
So the Wildcats, even though we fell, there was some good offense generated. Kel Slater, a tough shooting night, 2 for 8, but he'd have finished with 6 points. Stafford Shanklin, Jonathan Stewart finishing with 14 on 6 of 9 shooting. Preston Cerner finishing with 3 points. Lucas Searcy finishing with 2. Millway, 10 points on 5 of 5 shooting. Had a lot of foul trouble, so wasn't on the court very long. Jeremy Miller, 6 points and a little tough night shooting. Couldn't really get his stroke going on a 3 for 9 shooting. And Webb Spartans were led by Lucas Walls with 24 points on a very efficient night. Luke Lentz right behind him with 11. Jalen Green had 5. Marquise Barrett, freshman, had 7. Owen Feld also had 3. So Webb really only had 5 players scoring, but, obviously it worked. The Wildcats had 6 players with 2 in double digits. Webb just a lot more efficient from three-point line, from the free throw line too, and actually from 2-point line, so a lot more efficient everywhere. that was really the key to their success today, along with some hard-nosed defense.
Thanks a lot, John. Appreciate that. We're waiting for Coach Danny Green to join us here. The Wildcats are emerging from the dressing room, and we'll hopefully get him up here for a quick talk. The Wildcats defeated tonight 50-41. Oak Ridge had 6 total players score 2,000 points in their careers. 2 guys and 4 Lady Wildcats. That was the answer to our trivia question was Halston Lane, Quinche Dowdell, Kiki Stewart, Jada Gwynn, Jennifer Wilson, and Brittany Frazier. Want to tell everybody who didn't hear the trivia answer to last night's game trivia question. Rick Daniels Mulholland and Randy Poole scored over 1,000 points for Oak Ridge and played SEC basketball. Waiting to speak to Coach Green here, and as he kind of makes his way up here, this is Coach Danny Green. For those of you, all 3 games have been coached by Coach Aaron Green's dad, Danny Green. Aaron not able to be with us tonight here at Alcoa High School, but we'll get a chance to speak to Coach Green, and I think he'll be he won't be pleased obviously because they lost, but I think he'll say that I think they had a little bit more life to them tonight as compared to yesterday's game against Greenville. They lost the ball game tonight, but and they did some things a little bit better. They didn't get an opportunity to go to the free throw line very much, which that might concern him just a bit because that means they might not have been quite as aggressive in the ball game. We'll just see what he says here. Why don't we take a break? We'll send it back to Brian Bennett. We'll be back with Coach Danny Green following this 3-minute timeout. Hey, Brian, can you bring it back after a 60-second break? Okay. Yeah. Okay, Coach Green's already here, so. Oh, well, it's better. It was a little bit better than last night, actually.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Just can't score.
Yeah. It's like, Welcome back to Alcoa High School, and joining me is Coach Danny Green. Coach, as you and I were talking off the air just a second ago, a little bit better tonight. I thought the effort was better tonight in this ball game. Webb is a really good team.
They can move the ball. They execute well. They can shoot it. So they're hard to defend.
Yeah, I mean, they do, and they shoot the ball. I mean, they have the motion in their offense, and they get the right guys open.
Yeah.
And they're good on defense, and they're smart. They get back on defense really quick, which didn't allow you anything, no transition buckets, because they were always back on defense.
Yeah, we're not pushing it on our transition. We got about 3 or 4 people running along beside the ball instead of getting down the corner where we're supposed to be. So,
one thing you and I were also talking about is just the lack of offense. I mean, and this is not excuses. Coaches, broadcasters can make excuses. Coaches never make excuses.
Yeah.
But Jeremy's not 100%, and we're used to him, getting and driving the ball and doing a lot of things. He's not 100% with that ankle.
No.
You got to figure that Jonathan Milloway is not 100% healthy either, because he's just coming off of illness. And Lucas, it's the same thing. So that's an excuse. I know coaches don't make excuses, but it is a factor, I think.
Yeah, it is. And when the biggest thing I guess is we haven't practiced that much, and they've gone back to their old habits, and as well as I do, they don't listen to me or the other 2 coaches as well as they would Aaron, because he's the main man. He can want to make decisions. We started Preston Day instead of Stafford. So we'll just have to keep working at it and try to get better every day. And last year we went through a little spell like this, and we finally got it going. And we'll find out who really wants to play and who wants to, just be out there.
One thing that I was thinking, there was one spurt when you started the second half. You went on an 11-0 run to start the third quarter, so that was a positive in this one.
Right. Then we let them make some wide open shots. No communication. People just getting wide open shots and just not doing what they're supposed to do. And hold them to what, 50 points.
Right.
You should be in the game, definitely in the game. That's the last 2 nights we've held them 50-something points, and we've been scoring quite a bit. But people are, I guess, figuring us out and knowing what we're doing, and we just don't really have anybody right now that we can just give it to and get us a bucket. Get us a bucket. Last year we did the same thing. Started trying to throw it inside too much instead of attacking on transition and shooting the threes and stuff and press, but we just don't have. Sometimes we just don't have the right people in there to press. So,
Coach, I'm not going to ask you. We play Central on Tuesday. It's a district ball game, so these games are important, obviously, but that game matters more Tuesday night at Central High School. But like you said, the good news is you're going to have some practices in between. That's almost a full week from now, so I'm sure you'll be happy to get back on the practice floor.
Yes, sir.
Coach, I'm going to let you go here. It looks like about everybody is left here. Well, your wife didn't leave you. She's still down there.
Still down there? Okay.
Coach, just your final comments on this game tonight.
Well, it's a learning experience. We should be doing a lot better offensively. We're just not executing and just not sharing the basketball and moving the basketball. We're too much one-on-one, in my opinion. When they drive, they're going full speed, that Webb was, and we just dribble, and we don't get anything done. And we don't pass the ball and reverse the ball and then try to seal people. We just try to go in there like a wild man. So we've got to get that straightened out. And but like I said, we hadn't practiced that much football. Even players hadn't even been there that much, since their season was over. But we'll get there. We'll get there. And we got good kids, and it's hard to say who's going to be playing here in the next week or so. But I hope they can still start competing and see what's going on.
Coach, thanks a lot.
Yes, sir.
Coach Danny Green, the Wildcats defeated tonight by a final score of 50-41. Well, that about does it here from Alcoa High School. We've enjoyed the 3 ball games here, with the exception of the last 2. But we still had a good time. Alcoa treated us right. They had us all set up and ready to go. And we've enjoyed our time here. We appreciate everybody and all our sponsors for sure for sponsoring our broadcasts here. And we appreciate John and Christian and Mark for joining us here, and Brian Bennett, of course, at the station. I want to wish everybody a very happy new year. The next time we'll be speaking to you will be from Central High School. The girls will be back in action. It's been a long time since they've played, and that'll be a 6 o'clock tip-off, the Lady Wildcats and the Lady Bobcats, and the boys at 7:30. For Christian, John, Mark, and Brian, this is David Clary saying so long, everybody.